Hey guys, what's going on? Today we have our tea, passion fruit, mango tea. It's an herbal, so we're gonna end up leaving this in our cup. Also, if you guys notice, I have some flowers. My work had some flowers left over from a event this weekend, so this is one of the little arrangements that I put together. But cheers, guys! I'm gonna let that sit for a minute, and but yeah, look at how pretty they are. They're kind of like a brown muted pink, but anyways, we're gonna leave those in the frame as much as possible. Using a lot of scraps here, we're gonna try to make some kimchi fried rice and miso soup, starting with our sad little carrot. This was our last carrot that we had. I did end up buying some when I walked to the store yesterday, but we have this baby carrot. It's kind of small, so it'll be enough for inside the miso soup. Generally speaking, when it comes to miso soup, I know that a lot of you are probably super used to having just tofu and maybe some glass noodles in there, and green onions with the seaweed or wakame, but you can add whatever you want. So just know that you should cook all your veggies before adding your miso paste, but you can totally put in whatever. You can add like I've seen green beans and all sorts of veggies, you know, different cabbages. I've even seen broccoli. You could put anything really, but we're taking another chunk of our daikon here just because I'm enjoying this and it makes my tummy feel good. So I'm gonna peel off that external skin, outside layer. I've been reading through comments and trying to answer everybody back as often as possible and as quickly as possible, as well as trying to record and then upload and keep up with all that's entailed with it. And it's been kind of crazy, and so if I'm a little bit slow or a little bit late to upload, or you don't hear from me for a bit, just know that I'm still putting stuff out. I usually, gosh, I'm recording as many days a week as possible, with minus like 1 or 2 days where I don't actually cook dinner, and we might have, I don't know, gotten a fast food burrito or something like that at the eating out, just because you know, you can't cook every single day. I mean, you can, but Mix is nice to give me a break if he sees me kind of struggling, and I've been struggling, right? You guys have seen it or heard it with the fact that my car is I still have not heard any good news. It is still in the shop, but oh, here we go. Got the water. We kind of did a little cut here, guys, 'cause watching me pour water into a bowl is, I just wasn't into it today. So we got our pan with water, but have not heard anything back on my car, and I'm getting kind of stressed. Oh, we have some kelp today too for our miso soup, and we're gonna just break off a piece of that and throw that in, and that'll just help flavor it. So nice little dry piece, and then we'll boil that with everything and take that out later on. And yeah, but I have been having a struggle with the fact that there's so much going on this week, with work alone. And oh, look at the leftover rice from last night's dinner from our shoyu hot dogs, but we have onions now, so I can cut an onion. But I've been, between work being crazy and between like the demands of having to actually, I normally work from home, which is, I'm very, very lucky to have that flexibility, but there are times where I do need to go to the site, and if that's the case, I've been kind of getting Ubers there, and that's very expensive after a while. Luckily I live fairly close, and if I wanted to walk, it would take me about an hour to walk across town, but I talked to Mix about that. He was not having that idea, so I've shed a lot of tears, and I've been really stressed about everything and the fact that stuff still isn't fixed. It's been, oh, in a few months here, it'll be a whole year that I've been struggling. Oh, look at this. My onion. Isn't it beautiful? I'm not sure how we're going to cut this onion. I end up changing my mind on what I want to do with it. But yeah, so that was not an option for him, and I did try to walk home one time, and I got about 5 or 6 miles into my walk, and then he was like, "What are you doing? Get home right now. Get an Uber. Get a whatever. Get a." Nobody does taxis these days, but here's me trying to pick up my onions with the knife and realizing, yeah, I ain't gonna work. I'm just gonna use my hands. Yeah, he got really upset with me trying to walk home by myself. Trying to walk home by myself, which it was probably like 8 or 9 miles. So probably not a good idea. But he finally was like, "You're done doing this." He's like, "You're gonna keep trying to walk places. I'm just gonna see if we can get you just a rental car for this month because there's too much stuff between work and your friend's wedding that you really want to go to and everything. We still haven't gone shopping for his suit or anything like that, and you haven't gotten a dress yet, and you have work events coming up, and you have your birthday, and we have my birthday, and it's too much going on, and you don't need to be stressed about that." So he's like, "Let's try to get you a rental, and here's my leftover mushrooms. Just gonna give them a wash and then throw them in a bowl because they're already chopped, so we'll just make it easy." But rather than have me stressed out about that, he decided, let's try to get a rental. And we're like, how are we gonna afford this between going to my best friend's wedding and then to everything else that is entailed with all that good stuff of a birthday month. And I was like, just don't even get me anything this year for my birthday. Just me being able to go to my best friend's wedding that's my present, right? Like, that's more than enough. I don't need anything else. But yeah, rental cars are not cheap, and since we have not heard anything good from the dealership, it's not looking so great. But thanks to the supporters in his community just understanding, and he hates asking for these types of things, but thanks so much to everybody for supporting and helping to ease the stress and the financial hit of having to rent a car because my car is not working correctly. I cried a lot. I am so thankful, but yeah, you guys have made it so that I can survive. We can actually go to the grocery store. Going to the grocery store and picking up food and then going to other places and getting, I don't know, you don't realize how much you actually need to get around, and transportation's important. And in this area, walking isn't always an option to places, especially with the weirdos wandering around outside, and I just don't want to get harassed. So I'll just say this big thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. And yeah, tonight we're gonna eat up some of our leftovers and then go out tomorrow and pick up the car. And my sister has some strawberries, she said, so that's cool. I have my tofu block that I used yesterday, or was it yesterday? Might have been yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. And we're gonna cut our little cubes and then put the rest of this away. I'm gonna figure out what else I want to do, if I'm gonna keep doing miso soup or something else. But we'll need some eggs too, and I want to protect this cutting board from the kimchi, because I have some kimchi here that we got at H Mart that's really, really good. But we're getting down to the bottom of it, and I haven't been able to go shopping in forever or go to these Asian markets to pick up more, so we're gonna try to use this sparingly, but get some kimchi out, and we're gonna give that a rough chop. So we have our leftover rice, we have some white onion, green onion, mushrooms. I would normally put sniff test. I would normally put more veggies, but since I also have the miso soup with the carrot and the daikon, I don't feel like doubling up on those, so I'm just kind of being lazy today. And it's a little bit chilly still, so we'll give these a nice rough chop. I don't know if you guys like kimchi or not, but it's supposed to be good for your tummy and digestion. I don't know if that still counts once you fry it, but it's tasty. It's also very salty though, so I end up opting for a lower seasoning on this just because you get so much flavoring from the kimchi itself. But let's go over to the stove, and our pan is already getting kind of hot, so we're just gonna put in a little bit of oil. I was looking and thinking, I'm getting suggested all these I'm getting all these suggestions for cooking oil sprayers and stuff where you fill it in with your own sprayer, or your own oil, I mean. Does anybody have one of those? Do you have any reviews or thoughts on it? I saw something about like you should get the one with the dark glass for your oil because it prevents the oil from going bad or rancid. But if you do have one of those sprayers where you fill it up yourself, can you let me know your recommendations or your thoughts? I have to look at how much they are. I don't think they're that much. They can't be more than $20, right? I don't know. We're gonna saute our onion and throw in our mushrooms too. These are our discount mushrooms, so if they look a little sad, it's because they're on sale, and once it's cooked, it's fine. We can't afford the good mushrooms. No, I'm trying to not spend too much money like usual, and they were on sale, and sometimes they just look ugly, but they're still okay to eat. Especially in the format that they're being made right now. It's fine. They'll be okay. You won't notice once we put everything in together. On the other burner, I have my daikon plus the onion and my carrots and the kombu slice all boiling together. I'm gonna put a little bit more oil in my pan though, just for those mushrooms, because it's starting to get a little bit dry in the pan, and I do want those to cook really nicely. But in my tiny little wok, we're gonna do a little bit of kimchi fried rice with our leftover rice from last night. But let me know, guys. I ask you these questions. I do appreciate when somebody answers me or says something or replies back. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. These aren't what do we call it, rhetorical. These are actual these are actual questions. Oh my goodness. But look at how pretty. Something about stir frying veggies just makes me happy. All right, so everything's more or less getting on the cooked side, a little bit more cooked. Throw in our kimchi. Look at that. Beautiful red. Looks super spicy. It's not that spicy. It just looks, it's colorful. It's pretty. Yeah. Ugh. Give that a nice little swirl and a toss and a spin. Oh my gosh. That just looks yummy to me. And get it really mixed in there. Ugh. The only thing is some of these little cabbage leaves get stuck to my hashi, and I have to like wing them off. I'm trying to do it in the most graceful way possible without like just flicking it everywhere. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. All right, going back so you can see a little bit more of the stove going on. Yeah, it's kind of cold here, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, here's our rice. It's been in the fridge, and this is the short grain Calrose rice from last night's dinner. I don't use all the rice, or we don't eat all the rice, so that we can have fried rice. And it doesn't seem like a lot of rice, but once you add everything in and you kind of mix it up, it's okay, I think, to have more of a higher veggie to rice ratio, because more veggies is always a good thing, right? don't know, but trying to break up these clumps. Who knows if they'll completely break up. This is kind of the way that things go. It depends on what I have available to cook or to make, or what leftovers I have. That determines what's for dinner that night. I do have protein in the fridge that I just got, but I'm trying to hold that off for a different meal, and I did want to use up this leftover rice before anything. But doing my best to break up those little clumps. Out of curiosity, has anybody made fried rice lately? Do you use a spoon? What do other people use to make fried rice? Probably a spoon, right? Like a wooden spoon or something? That sounds about right. But anyways, guys, this is like... Today was a rough day. This is a little bit of comfort food, a little bit of spiciness. Kind of stir it up, mix it up. If you have any recipes for strawberries too, guys, let me know. Feel free to send me a message. I need some ideas. Apparently it's a large box of strawberries my sister gave me. Oh, look at that color. Beautiful bright green onion against the red of the kimchi and the rice. Give that a nice mix. Get it real incorporated in there. Absolutely beautiful. And try to fling the piece off a little bit more. So pretty. I love it when there's colors like that. There's the green and the red. It makes me so happy. Alright. I'll put a little bit of black pepper in here because a little bit extra seasoning never hurt nobody. And I have my container of a little bit of sesame oil here. I'm just going to do a light drizzle just for the flavor. I don't want to put too much because I don't want it to be too heavy. You'll notice that for most of my things that I make or my dishes, I don't put sesame oil in to cook in. And that's just a personal choice. I do know that people cook with sesame oil, and that's fine. I'm afraid of burning it. So trying to not burn it is a big deal. Got our little plates here, and we're gonna actually scoop the rice out of the pan and kind of serve it and set it aside so that I can use the wok to fry some eggs in and put that on top. I don't know why. I always see people put a fried egg on top of kimchi fried rice. Whether it's just because they like fried eggs or that's just how they do it. But it makes sense to me. Sure, why not? We can do that, but I don't know. Let's see, why not? Gave our wok a little wipe down really quickly. We didn't really do a full wash. We just kind of rinsed out the inside so that I can fry that egg in there too. And then going to my miso soup, I just dropped in the tofu, give that a spin, and make sure that's heating up nicely. And again, a little bit of avocado oil into our pan. Kind of swirl it around and get our egg. So we got our little brown egg. I got these little brown eggs, and they're not the full-size eggs. They're not large eggs. They're mediums, technically. So they're a little bit smaller, but I don't mind because they're not that much smaller, to be honest. And they're only... I can find them for like 24 of them or 30 of them for like $8 or something ridiculous like that. Like that's... In this economy, man... I'm just saying, I will eat my little medium, small brown eggs all the time because that's just good. Right now I'm just trying to break up that inner membrane of the whites to try and get them to cook a little bit more and spread out the actual size of the whites of the egg. This is kind of a fresh egg, so it definitely held up a lot better. And then using the hashi, kind of just making sure that it's not sticking too much to the pan. It's not sticking all that much, but I just really want to make sure that I can easily slide this off when I'm done onto the fried rice. I love a good fried egg, but I do like the whites to be done. I don't know if anybody likes their eggs with that white runny bit. I like a runny yolk and a well cooked white. So a hard white and runny yolk. I think that's like a soft boiled egg, right? That's my favorite way. But we're going to use the lid from my miso soup because it's just got some steam on it, a little bit of water, and we're going to cover up the egg in the pan, and that'll finish cooking the whites actually. So you'll see it here. I just leave it there while we finish our miso soup. I got some wakame that I'm going to throw in as well. And get that mixing in there. I think I accidentally clipped it out, guys, now that I'm reliving this, but I did throw in like a handful of frozen seafood. You can't really see anything, and it just looked like a bunch of frozen chunks, but it's in there. It's in there, and it's just living and floating around. But put that egg on top of our fried rice. Isn't that pretty? And then we'll get you guys a nice little look at it here before we move our pan over and switch so that we can finish off the miso soup. So the pan, our burner's off now, but a little bit of coloring, gochugaru, red pepper flakes. And if you guys remember, we got our miso paste, using white miso paste. I'm just kind of smashing it around in that strainer just to help break it up. I've always had white miso, but maybe one day I'll get red miso. I don't know. White miso just has a sweetness to it that I can't get away from. It's I guess, yeah, that's the best way to describe it, is it's got like kind of a sweetness to it. It's good though. And I want to say probably most restaurants that you go to give you a white miso. I'm not sure what red miso is used for, because I know there's red and I think there's another color. I can't remember what. And what the difference is of the different types of miso. And just kind of rinse out the rest of this strainer here. And stir it up with my spoon. Kind of see some of that seafood on the bottom there. That's like the frozen seafood mix from Trader Joe's. Just throw it in there. Just for a little bit of extra protein and flavor, and just to make the miso a little bit more exciting versus just liquids. And then I have this packet here. It's a dashi stock packet. So instead of those flakes that I put in last time, just put a few of these little granules in. I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and this is a quick, easy way to do it. So finish that off with a little bit of green onions, and that's ready to go. Look how pretty that is. Again, you don't want to boil it, so that's why the burner is not on underneath. It's just the residual heat from the pan and the miso. It's everything that's inside. It's not cooking by any means. It's, yeah. Get our beautiful little bowl. Oh yeah, speaking of Daiso, this bowl's from Daiso too. This is another one of my Daiso bowls. I love this. Yeah, let me see here. There's got to be some seafood right there. You guys can see in it. See the carrots. They're super pretty. We'll put a little bit more green onion in this one as well. And let me see here. There's like a shrimpy somewhere. Oh, right there. Get it. Yeah, see, look at, there we go. We got a shrimp and a scallop. That's good. And that's it. There's your miso soup. Super easy. So we have here our miso soup with daikon and seafood and our kimchi fried rice. Everything is just kind of a throw it together meal. But thanks guys for hanging out. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.